It's showtime. What is going on, everybody? Yes, that was my Beetlejuice. How are you doing? How has your summer been? Has it been as miserably long as mine? Like, you know how in Game of Thrones they say, oh, it was the long winter. It was the summer that lasted years and years and years. That's what it's felt like for me. Since the end of the Stanley Cup final to right now, even though that's just a few months in time, it's all a matter of perception. Einstein, put your hand on a hot stove and a minute feels like an hour. Put your hand on a hot woman and an hour feels like a minute.
I agree.
Well, my hand has been on a... Yeah, I wish it was a hot woman. Maybe by the end of these bets, maybe by the end of this season, because I'm back like Ra's al Ghul to finish the job, and this time
no misguided idealists will get in the way.
That's what you get. You get Beetlejuice at the top, you get Michael Keaton, and now we're going right into the Liam Neeson grumble. Not a great grumble, but we're in early season form, because you know what they say, that the first weeks of the regular season is the new preseason because nobody plays in the preseason, so there's a lot of missed tackles and a lot of missed assignments. Are you guys ready for all the chalk comments? The regular guy comments, like, oh, I know sports. That guy's going to lean in, no different than that guy at your family table on Thanksgiving that goes, you know, it's the tryptophan that makes you tired. They're going to lean in and say, you know, the first couple of weeks of the season, I mean, that's the new preseason. A lot of missed tackle, a lot of arm tackles out there. All the chalk comments are coming out, but not from me. But don't worry, I'm going to be making up that lost time over the summer because I'm going to be introducing some new shows like this Friday. I'm going to be doing a longer form nonsense show where I'm going to be bringing in some of the other guys from OddsShopper, extracting their best picks, because I know you conspiracy theorists. I've seen you in the comments. You think, oh, you know, they always hold their, but no, I'm bringing them back in here and I'm going to get their best picks to give to you and for myself and for Miss Lippy too. But if you need some money to start with here on the opening night of NFL, you got to go over to Caesars. You know, I juiced Caesars big time with those same game parlays in the NHL. But they got a great deal going on where if you put in $50, you're going to get $250 in free bet credits. You bet 50. I mean, this is the beginning of it. We have the maximum amount of time left in the NFL. Put in 50, you get $250. I even saw, this has nothing to do with the promotion, they have a 50% profit boost on a same game.
Parlay was shared adversaries.
Parlay? I haven't said it. I haven't said that in a long time. But they have a 50% profit boost on any same game. Kids, parlay. You choose for profit boost up to 50%. I love stuff like that. In fact, we're going to be introducing a profit boost video courtesy of my suggestion. So if it fails, it's all on me. But we'll get to that at a later time. We got the opening night here. We got the Chiefs defending the Super Bowl against the Detroit Lions. Now, I potentially was going to get this video out earlier to you guys, but then we got this nugget of information. They had posted some of the player props and stuff like that. I started jotting some down for you guys. But then that guy right here to your right, my left, Travis Kelce, hyperextended his knee, and now his status is in question for this game. But I know quite a few white guys in their 30s, and let me tell you something, if they hyperextend their knee, they're not going anywhere in the next 2 days. My guess is that Kelce isn't going to be playing because he's just way too important to their team. They don't even have, like, Juju Smith-Schuster anymore, who had 900 yards for them. He's not there. Hardman's not there. He is too critical to this team's offense long-term if they really want to, you know, make a run again. But then again, I don't put anything past Mahomes. This guy can win with dust out there. The last time we saw Mahomes, he was beating the Philadelphia Eagles in the Super Bowl, and before that, the Cincinnati Bengals and Joe Burrow, who he was 0-3 against with good legs, beat him hobbling around like my Uncle Bobby, who works on a bread truck, is about to retire, has a permanent limp. That's what Mahomes looked like, and that's who he won those games with. So anybody who's telling you, oh, well, you know, Kelce, he's not playing. They have no weapons out there. They had a young defense. Couldn't work out a contract extension with Jones. Now Kelce's not going to be there. And then on the other side, Detroit's supposed to win the division. They got a great offensive line. Blah, 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 blah. You want to bet against Patrick Mahomes in primetime at home? Do that at your own peril. This guy, I believe, at this point last year, like if if we were to rewind the calendar a year, I'm pretty sure he was like 17-2 in prime time. And then if you add last year's primetime game, just off the top of my head, I remember there was that game, they were trailing, I think week 2, the Chargers at home in primetime. At halftime, they were trailing by a lot, won that one. They were trailing the loser, Derek Carr, at home by like 15 points. They won that one. So even if they're down, this Mahomes guy, he's a something else, I tell you. So I really don't think you should just be all willy-nilly betting against him. I understand 5 points is a good amount of points. And it is tempting to take the Detroit Lions. Think about how they ended their season on the highest note possible, ending Rodgers' tenure in Green Bay. You know, they went in there and eliminated the Packers from the playoffs. They had nothing to play for other than that. The team has obviously bought into Dan Campbell's system. Like I had previously mentioned, they're favored to win the division over the Vikings in terms of the odds and whatnot. So there's a lot of reason to like them. But when it comes to picking a winner in this game, I know it's cowardly just to pick a winner, but I'm too scared to go for the full 5 points. Money line, I'll take the Chiefs. I will buy them down to -2.5. And I know that's expensive, but I'm saying if we use either that Caesars same game parlay or another sort of same game parlay, some of the things that I like in this game to pair with that Chiefs -2.5, I like Mahomes to throw 2 touchdowns. Now, I know on some of those same game parlays, you can choose, like you can add 1, 2, or 3. And on some, I know on Caesars, it's 2.5. Defenses are pretty rusty in this first week. They're just trying to figure out who they are, get their wits about it. A lot of them missed assignments, a lot of broken tackles, and all that stuff. But within that Chiefs offense, you guys know what my 1A pick is. It was winning us money, and then money, and then money, and then money. When Mahomes hurt his ankle and he didn't have that mobility, he was forced to increase the utilization in the passing game of our boy Isiah Pacheco. Before that, we were taking the over on Isiah Pacheco receiving yards week after week. So I was saying every week they designed 2 screens for him and they were setting the over under on his receiving yards at like 9. I go, every one of these goes for, at least one of those 2 goes for 10. It either goes for 0 or 10, and we were cashing on them. But then once he hurt his ankle with that high ankle sprain, then they designed even more passes for him because they had to get the ball out of Mahomes' hands, and he showed he can handle that. My guess, if you want to say my sniff, is that he's going to see increased utilization in the passing game. I understand they have McKinnon. McKinnon's still going to get his in the passing game, but especially if Kelsey is out, you give me the over on Isiah Pacheco receiving yards, despite the fact that it's not listed. And not only is it not listed now just because Kelsey's out and they pulled all the player props, but I checked early. I'm an early checker, and he was not there. McKinnon was there. Valdes-Scantling was there. Sky Moore was there. They were there. I even think Tony may have been there. But there was no Isiah Pacheco. Now put on your tinfoil hat, and you know my theory. If something ain't there, it usually means it's pretty good. The hot girl doesn't show up at your door and ask you to the prom. That one really doesn't apply as much to here, but it's like the opposite. The hot girl's not there, so you have to go find her. We have to go find those Isiah Pacheco receiving yards. You let me know when you find it. I'll let you know when I find it because we're going to be taking it. And then I briefly mentioned a guy just before. Yes, Schuster's gone. His 900 yards. Kelsey probably his 1,300 yards won't be playing. Who's going to be in every 2 wide receiver set? Who's going to be on the field? Who's going to get targets just by default? Who's in this system for a second year? Has a little bit of trust. It's just a little trust with Patrick Mahomes, and that is Marquez Valdes-Scantling. I know nobody's ever excited to take him. No, I'm not excited to take him. I think it's a good bet. I'm still not excited to take him. But when you look at the other people in that offense, there's a lot of, okay, we got Tony, who's going to not play a full snap count. Sky Moore's just a fantasy darling until he's not. We've seen plenty of fantasy darlings, theoretical fantasy darlings entering that offense that never actually, met their potential, just like Hardman. And who is that running back? Oh, that skinny running Darwin Thompson. These people, they got plenty of people who don't end up actually panning out the way they think. I know they want you to think Sky Moore is going to go up. Another piece of advice. So yeah, longest reception For Marquez, Valdes-Scantling, because we know he obviously can stretch the field, and we know defenses are a little off, I'll take the over on longest reception. I don't know what it is. I assume it's going to be 21. And I'll take the over on his receiving yards. I don't know what it is. I assume it's going to be 38. I'll take the over on all those, unless those numbers are preposterous. But then on the other side, and when it comes to Sky Moore, I'm not taking Sky Moore. I don't like betting on unknowns. We don't know, you Jamar Gibbs drafters. Oh, he's going to break the slate. He's going to be a difference maker, man. He's going to be you have no clue. You have no clue how the backfield touches are going to play out. Look, they were a nightmare last year, all right? Like, Swift was one of the most efficient runners in the league. They gave him 4 carries a game. They were shoving Williams at the goal line, so obviously they're completely fine with a running back by committee. You don't know how they're going to split up those touches, so I'm not taking either of those guys, overs, unders. I just don't know the utilization, so I'm staying away. I don't know how Sky Moore's going to be used. I'm staying away. I like focusing on the things that I do know, which is Isiah Pacheco. And we will see if Clyde Edwards-Helaire gets reingratiated into the offense, because if you remember, he was gone that second half of the season. But they seemed to lose faith in him way before that. But you never know. In a weird situation where there's no Kelsey, they might rotate all 3 running backs. But you know me, I like some Pacheco for you. And those are my bets for opening Thursday night, but we're just getting started. I'm just dipping my toe into the pool. It's not just the players who like, this is preseason for me too. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna have a built-in excuse. Oh no, but this is my preseason. That's what I got for you night 1. We got plenty more coming your way. Like I said, look for the show on Friday. We're gonna have some of the other odd shopper people, and I'm gonna make them give me the goods. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel here. And also, if you have anything you want to send to me, maybe if you have any questions that need to be answered going into the weekend, you hit me up on social media. Where can I find you? You see that name right there? It's at Andy Francis. That's the name on every single social media platform. Last year, I said, hey guys, get me to 10K Instagram followers. I made you a good amount of money, and it never happened. So maybe it will happen this year. We'll see. Who knows? But I'll be trying to, stack your pockets with cash. It's good to be back. I look forward to another fun season, hopefully a good winning season. But with you people, you know how it goes. I can go 9 for 10 and somehow all of you lost money. We will say, hey, it wasn't going to be a true Andy video unless I insulted you once. I'll see you tomorrow or the next day or whenever. Take it easy.